short presentation. So today I will talk about my career in cybersecurity, pen testing, social engineering, and a few other things. And I will try to provide some concrete examples how you should break into the field, and how you can become a cybersecurity, let's say, engineer expert and so on. So first of all, I am Prebreza. I am the co-founder of a company called Prebreza. So what we do is offensive security services, mainly penetration testing and red teaming. And prior to Prebreza, I have first worked at Ernst& Young Belgium, and after Ernst& Young, I worked at Bishop Fox for about 6 years as a senior penetration tester and red teamer. And I have a bachelor degree in applied computer science from Brussels. And then I have a still ongoing master's degree in advanced security and digital forensics from Edinburgh, Napier University. And one of the key things that I have learned in like 15, 16 years now is contributing to the community is key to anything you do in life. So in 2011, I co-founded a students organization in Brussels related to Albanian students in Belgium. And since then, I've been involved in various things. And even prior to that, I was involved in another NGO. So that experience gave me a lot of, let's say, knowledge. And let's say it was the foundation for what I am today, including my company, my own company, or our own company, because we are two co-founders, and then several other things. So another big thing is the B-Sides Pristina. It's a conference that I organize every year. So this year we have the 4th edition. We started right after the pandemic. So in 2022 was the first edition, and then 23, 24, and this year 2025. And prior to that, and I'm still actually a volunteer at the BrewCon, which is a cybersecurity conference in Belgium. And that's where actually I met my first employer. So Ernst & Young was sponsoring BrewCon for many years previously. And then I met their team and the ex-director back then. And that's how I landed my first internship at let's say cybersecurity position. And I'm lucky enough to, let's say, directly starting with a cybersecurity position. I was a pen tester since 2015, so now like 10 years a professional senior pen tester. And then I still kept volunteering to that for still today. And I got involved in other things, including OWASP Belgium. And then I moved back to Kosovo, to Pristina, which is my home country or origin country, where I started some InfoSec meetups in 2019. So I organized many InfoSec meetups there. I still organize them on top of everything else. And all this, let's say, volunteering or pro bono engagement, obviously it has its own time constraints, because you need to dedicate time to reach out to people and so on. But overall, I'm really happy because especially in Kosovo, I was able to, let's say, contribute to build quite a growing and strong InfoSec community. And we have done a bit less, but in Albania as well, because it was a bit more difficult. But the idea is like when you organize the community, you become let's say more famous. But that's not the point in my on my end. So there are many people that don't know that I organize the B-Sides Pristina and a couple of other things I organize. So I gather a lot of people. So with this conference, about 400, 500 people, and then the meetups, depending on the topics, usually 40, 50 people every time. And almost, not almost, but a lot of people don't even know who organizes them. So I just bring together people, we exchange ideas, we present things, and then yeah, we support each other. And this allows me personally also to have like a pool of people in my mind also for our own company, like who to hire or who to hire as an intern, a junior, senior, and so on. Sometimes even just some contracting work when it's, let's say, a complex project. We need someone that is really strong, but say we don't have the budget to have them full time. And sometimes we also, let's say, not sometimes, but quite often, we get asked by clients about, well, referring people. They need a SOC analyst. They will come to me like, hey, do you know anyone that might be a good fit for us? And if I know someone, then obviously I will, well, recommend that person. So I'm also really proud that I've been able to recommend quite a few people during my career, and they have become really good at what they do and successful, and they keep doing the same. So let's say if I'm recommending someone, they do a great job. It becomes like a tradition where they keep recommending, let's say, good people. Obviously, when it comes to cybersecurity, technical skills are, let's say, vital for, let's say, productivity and so on. But soft skills also matter a lot. So, I mean, I know a lot of people that are technically really good, some of them even better and way better than me. But sometimes they lack some soft skills, and that makes them, let's say, less interesting well, to have them in a team. Because sometimes you can have really good hackers, but they don't know how to work in a team. So uh, I encourage you, let's say, uh, while building your career in cybersecurity, regardless if it's in a, let's say, an offensive security role like penetration testing, red teaming, or blue teaming, or compliance, GRC role. I really encourage you to be active in your community wherever you live, because there are OWASP chapters almost everywhere in the world. There are B-sides almost everywhere. There are other local conferences all around the world. And you can also start your own small thing. Like I started the InfoSec meetups. I also started B-sides, but I mean, B-sides, it's quite a big thing. So it requires, well, let's say money. So you need to know people to get sponsors to organize it and so on. But you can start with small meetups, gatherings between, let's say, you could start with your friends, your colleagues from university or from work, depending on what stage you currently are. And then, yeah, keep learning on the technical side of things. So there are a lot of online trainings nowadays. When I started, let's say, hacking, I was really, I mean, I was a kid. I was 14, not even 14 actually, 13 and a half. So I've been doing this since end of 2004, early 2005, and I spent like, yeah, most of my life doing this, and I keep learning every day. It's, I mean, as you might know, technology advances a lot, and in cybersecurity it becomes even, let's say, faster than just learning a programming language and, let's say, practicing it or using it, working on it for a few years. In cybersecurity, it's different. You really need to keep pace with well, learning and using new techniques, both for attacking but also for defending. For instance, when it comes to social engineering, it's really important to stay up to date with new techniques because, I mean, let's say we, the attackers, we are quite creative on finding new ways how to attack a company, how to perform a specific scenario, and so on. But also on the defending side, there are, let's say, more and more controls in place, and it's more challenging to be, let's say, successful. And what I would suggest, well, to everyone is read information security blogs. There are a lot of, let's say, interesting channels and accounts on various social medias. So just follow a few of them, get, let's say, up to date, stay up to date, and then set yourself goals. So let's say in 2025 you want to start learning how let's say cybersecurity in a high level works. And once you have learned that, you can move to more practical things. Depending if you want to go on the attack side, you can start with something more basic, like learning how web applications work, and then how different. Well, you can learn about the different attack vectors and different vulnerability type of vulnerabilities, and then start to practice it. Like yeah, there are a lot of online challenges where you can learn by hacking different applications and so on. And it goes the same on the defensive world. So there are a lot of resources online. And once you, let's say, feel confident about learning new skills and new things, then there are a couple of online certifications. Some are really expensive. And I know that, let's say, not everyone has the possibility to spend a lot of money on trainings, especially when you are a student or you just graduated. But there are also, let's say, cheap options that give you like a good start. I mean, a lot of companies look into certificates, and a lot of times you get, let's say, disqualified just because of that. It goes the same with tenders, requests for proposals, and so on. Sometimes they put requirements, and if you don't meet them, they don't even consider your offer. So it goes the same when applying for a job or finding a new job or transiting to cybersecurity from another domain. So this is one side. And then volunteering, secondly, as I said at the beginning, is really important. And if, let's say, you are too shy to organize something, then start participating in different conferences. There are a lot of conferences that are accessible to most people. I mean, they are uh, not expensive, they are cheap. A lot of times there are free conferences, free meetups as well. So participate in these. If you are still a student, you can obviously organize, let's say, hackers or cybersecurity club within your university and gather with colleagues. There are online competitions called Capture the Flags. You can play in these competitions. You learn a lot through them, and you also develop your, let's say, problem solving skills, group skills, group working skills, communication skills, and so on. And in a nutshell, this is what I would suggest to do to break into the cybersecurity field. I know that it's becoming more and more difficult. So a few years ago, we saw a high demand. No, the demand is, I wouldn't say lower, but it's weird. So when you see a job position, you see that hundreds of people applied, and sometimes you're like, yeah, why should I apply? Because there are already, let's say, 500 candidates before me. So don't be discouraged by that. Still apply, even though the best way to find a job is really getting involved with the community, networking with people, and yeah, being recommended. Because job positions, I have the impression, also based on what we see with our own job positions, they don't always get filled. So you can open a job position, but you don't see good candidates. You interview a few of them, you give them the opportunity to go to, let's say, the technical challenge. And if they fail miserably, you are like, what should I do? Should I hire someone that I don't know at all? Or should I hire someone that, let's say, was recommended by someone, or I know them through a conference or through some other networking platforms? So I really recommend you to get engaged in various conferences and meetups and so on, and get to network with people. That's the easiest way to land into your first cybersecurity job, but it goes the same afterwards. I mean, we are humans and we want, let's say, more and more and a better position. And a lot of times you have to, to switch jobs to get a better salary, maybe a better position, and so on. So I would like to, to thank you everyone for joining this. And I don't know if there are questions. I will see here in the chat, I suppose. Okay, I see that there are no questions. I would like to thank you everyone again, including the Global Skill Development Council for inviting me, and hopefully we see each other soon with another topic.